Hello, my name is Valery Dev. I am an astrologer, and today we will analyze the horoscope of the son of an outstanding person, a revolutionary ideologist of the Satyagraha principle Indian freedom fighter Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma's son's name is Harilal Gandhi. The time of birth is not known, so we will use an arbitrary time and place, and because my knowledge in English is not enough for to make this text, I will use a translator, and for will make audio speech in English too. Okay, let's go.
Horoscope of Harilal Gandhi, an astrological analysis. The son of the renowned ideologue and father of the Indian nation, Mahatma Gandhi, Harilal Gandhi, had a challenging life. But as I always say, there is no such thing as a hard fate, only a hard person. Harilal Gandhi was raised without his father for a significant period, spending most of his time with Gandhi family relatives. After school, Mahatma Gandhi brought him back. Despite Harilal's willingness to faithfully follow his father's path, he was imprisoned several times between 1908 and 1911 for promoting Satyagraha. A conflict arose when Harilal wanted to study in London, England. Mahatma Gandhi believed that Western education would adversely affect Harilal and hinder the struggle for India's independence. What followed was a series of failures: attempts to start a business, debts, gambling, conversion to Islam, protesting against his father, returning to Hinduism, and so on. Harilal's fate was quite unfortunate. By the end of his life, according to various sources, he suffered from alcoholism and tuberculosis. He cut ties with his father and family around 1911 and died in 1948, just 4 months after his father. Despite being at his father's funeral, he looked so unrecognizable that hardly anyone could identify him. Many books and articles have probably been written on this topic, but I want to focus your attention on Harilal Gandhi's horoscope. In Harilal's horoscope, we see a grand cross involving the Sun conjunct Mercury in Virgo and Leo, Jupiter in Scorpio, and Pluto and Neptune in Gemini. As we know, the primary conflict was about education and going abroad to England. Look at the square between Jupiter and the Sun with Mercury. When Harilal decided to activate the symbolism of Jupiter in his life, foreign lands, higher education, he encountered conflict square with the Sun, father, and Mercury, relatives. Harilal undoubtedly wished to follow his father's path. The square between Jupiter and the Sun indicates unfulfilled hopes and expectations regarding the father archetype, and subsequently, himself. At the end of 1911, transiting Jupiter conjoined its natal position, duplicating the conflict of Jupiter with the Sun and Mercury. A stalemate where fate forced Harilal to choose between a lofty ideal, education, and his father. Ultimately, the choice was never made definitively because this conflict was embedded within Mahatma Gandhi's own biography. Despite absorbing the cultural codes of England while living in colonial South Africa and studying in London, Mahatma Gandhi rebelled, for his reasons, against that system and its beliefs. The Sun, father, in an irreconcilable conflict with Jupiter, ideology, education. Born precisely when Mahatma Gandhi was heading to study in London, Harilal was destined to be stuck in the opposition between a big idea and his father's thinking, Jupiter square Sun plus Mercury. Choosing his father and following his example, Harilal inevitably rebelled against the big idea, which was essential for him to better understand himself and his father. Mahatma Gandhi likely feared that if Harilal chose education in London, the idea, Jupiter, he would be lost to him and rebel against him and his teachings, square to the Sun and Mercury. But the worst happens when a person does not accept their fate, regardless of the reasons. The worst happens when a person shifts the responsibility for their choices onto others. Harilal Gandhi remained in an endless oscillation between the idea-education path and his father's figure. Without making a definitive choice, he maintained contact with both sides of this conflict. He could have chosen foreign English education to critically examine his father's figure, himself, and his ideas, possibly attempting to refine the concept of Satyagraha to perfection later on. Yes, he would have had to conflict with his father, which would have been a difficult path, but it would have been a path of self-evolution. Because if we only indulge our ego, the sun, in the case of a square to Jupiter, we risk going against society and sliding into an immoral lifestyle. A Jupiter-Sun square is a path of constant self-growth and opposition to society. In this opposition, one must grow and rise to a higher level each time without fearing this conflict. Only in this way can you follow the path of evolution.